You guys have been asking me for a really long time to do more optics, more night vision stuff. I figured what better than to throw in my latest IR purchase. This, of course, is the Flir Thermosight Pro PTS233. So those of you guys who are on the fence about this, let me tell you right now that I have the Reap IR, or the Reaper. This sight, when I used and demoed it, compared to the Reap IR, which is 6,000 and above, yes, the Reap IR is better, but it's not a few $1,000s better. So we get our manual. To be honest with you, not really needed. Everything inside of this sight is incredibly intuitive, as most things are with Flir, whatever you want to, however. So you have 5 buttons, an on switch, an off switch, and a standby mode. Thank you, and a warranty card. And these become invaluable because the CR123s only last about 2 hours, in my experience. And these are kind of like your, so kind of think of these like your speed clips or your moon clips for a revolver. Being out in the field and having your batteries die happens pretty quick. And that's true amongst the Reap IR as well. But this being a much less expensive sight, well, I think I'm doing this right. We're gonna find out, aren't we? Just kidding, right there. Positive, negative. Right, the sight itself. For what it is compared to where we came from, if you think back in the days of ATN being the best, extremely compact and lightweight, again, in comparison. So here's our other one. So this will go in, just like that. And then this cap is O-ring sealed. This is water resistant, not necessarily waterproof. The one that I demoed, I obviously didn't put underwater because I didn't want to have to pay for it. So I have no intentions of putting this one underwater, but I'm sure it will get rained on. And I have zero doubt that it will be totally fine. So mounting system, it's actually made by American Defense. So it is an ADM mount. So good quality stuff. Flir did their research on who to buy their mounts from. So what can you really say about a thermal without looking through it? Which is kind of why I've always been like, I don't really want to do night vision or IR reviews, just because how much can you really see? So turning the unit on is very similar to PTS14 or 7. Takes a couple seconds. There's our screen, reticle. I mean, there we go. So what I will roll in next is actual footage of this thing recording by itself. But I will say, what you guys see in the recording versus what I actually see through this lens is drastically different. The clarity through this is so much better than the actual recording that it takes. It makes this look bad. So by no stretch of the imagination should you take the recording or stills, if I take any, from this unit as a testament to what it actually looks like. It's one of those you have to personally get your eye behind this to see the quality and the clarity, because again, the recording is a really low resolution, and they do that just so you have a lot of recording to be able to be saved. So the quality of the recording definitely does not reflect how clear everything is. But with that said, I'm going to do my best to get some night capture shots. Before I do, let me show you what this looks like mounted on a rifle. So here we have the Noveske switch block. So mounting is pretty simple. Just get everything pretty much how you want it. That's about all the further I'm going to be able to go back with that sight there. Click and click. Something worth mentioning that isn't really broadcast through their website is you can save this to 3 different profiles. So if I wanted to zero it on this Noveske and then zero it on top of a completely different rifle like a bolt gun, I could do that. Again, you have 3 profiles, you can name them. So I would name this one Noveske. And this is what it looks like mounted. So really not much bigger then, and actually so for point of reference, for my duty rifle, I just got another Aimpoint Pro, fresh out of the box for you guys. Size comparison. There you go. Let's look at it from the top. It's a little bit girthier, but without that eyepiece, it's pretty damn close to the same size. So there you go for size comparison. This is obviously going to be heavier. It has batteries and glass and electronics in it, but so time for some actual night view and recording. USB Type-C, not an antiquated micro USB, just plugged straight into my computer, and I didn't have to download any drivers. It immediately recognized it as Flir OTS. Those are the 4 videos you guys are about to see. And it's just a drag and drop affair. And then that's it. I also forgot to mention that these are now 60 Hertz, no longer 30. Haven't been for a long time. And again, USB Type-C. Internal storage. So everything is all very neatly bundled into one thing. You kind of don't have to worry about much. Very good optic for the money if you guys are in the market. One of those things that I highly recommend. Most people are very take it or leave it on these things. Those who actually own them love them, and I'm definitely one of those people. Post-editing Sean here. I wanted to point out with the outdoor alert feature, when you are scanning or panning, and sorry the video is really shaky, I was obviously just holding the optic. I didn't go outside with a rifle in my hand. Sorry, not sorry. If anything captures warm, it will flare and look like it's on fire. So it immediately catches your eye and brings your attention to it. If you have black hot or white hot, you can see a lot of different contrasting things. But if something is exponentially warmer than anything else, it will flare. So when you see the outdoor alert in the upper left hand corner, you'll see things that are actually warm, and then you can kind of see contrasting colors between dark and light. So just a little annotation there. And again, sorry for the shaky video. Did the best I could. I'm not going to put it on a rifle and walk outside. So